dressing like an idiot. Like,
I'm not just like an idiot. This is how, if you want to be on a podcast and you want to have a podcast phone, you have to have
but you've got
style, fashion,
you've got
these things are super important.
There's a lot wrong with
Alright,
this
So
right
we're
now.
gonna start by making fun of you.
It's just 40 minutes of making fun of Quinn compilation.
That could go on forever.
Sounds like yesterday.
What a pussy.
Didn't happen yesterday.
That's
All right,
exactly what
so did you guys see the Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk plan for hiring half the federal employees? Their plan is that they're going to fire 50% of the workforce by the last 4 digits of your social security number. So with that logic, every other person will be fired, including either Elon Musk or Vivek Ramaswamy. They're going to fire each other. He's like, we're going to go down and everybody with an even social security number gets fired. Then we're going to go down and everybody with an odd social security number gets fired.
That's everyone.
Pretty much,
So
or
they're firing everyone.
or no, half with that.
Or
But either way, everyone's getting fired, or Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, one of them will get fired because they're firing half the people.
That's.
It's fucking retarded.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Logan about it, and he was like, "Oh, but they didn't mean that." It's always some excuse.
He's just gonna defend anything he does.
He'll be on the pod. He'll be on the
Yeah,
pod
I
to
don't know.
defend
Well, like
himself.
Logan, like the Cybertruck, he's like obsessed with. The only I
Does
guarantee.
Logan like it?
The
No,
Cybertruck
every-
is a fucking
the only
dumpster on
reason-
wheels, okay?
the only
And actually, I don't know.
reason
I don't say dumpster on wheels like
No,
to be
it's
offensive, but it
hideous.
actually legit looks like a
It does.
dumpster.
It looks like a
Shit.
dumpster. That's not like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
it's like
not
a
like-
shitty car. It looks like where you throw garbage out.
It actually looks
It's
tacky as hell.
It's absolutely hideous.
Like,
It's
the edges look
ugliest-
like they're not
I read,
flush. I
I
don't
read
like
some
that.
article about it where somebody called it. They said the ugliest. It's like as ugly as sin. They called it. It's
Ugly as sin.
Yeah. It's hideous, but the only reason people buy that is it's Elon Musk. That's it.
It looks like
If some
somebody
other dude
went
was
in
charge
and
of
like
Tesla, no one would care. They
it
would
looks
just
like
think,
a
Well,
kid.
that's the
It's a mini
value.
fridge on wheels.
That's the value of his companies comes from the fact that he is running
and
them.
it's him.
No,
one cares.
without him, the company loses like half
Yeah.
of its value. It's
Because
true.
they're all like they're fanboys.
Mhm.
If it was standing for like what's the original Tesla guy?
Nikola Tesla.
Yeah, no one even knows.
No,
who
but
he
somebody
is.
owned the company before him, or someone was like started. He was a group of people that started it or something. I don't really know.
I feel like Tesla just got robbed.
Yeah, he got robbed of his ideas. Robbed of
They
his life
stole
work.
his fucking life work, his name, everything.
But his factories.
Most
out
people
here
hear
are
Tesla and they think Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Not Nikola
Not
Tesla.
Nikola Tesla. Yeah,
Nobody even knows who
poor
he is.
guy.
Even though where
Well,
we live,
don't try
his
to do something
factory's
for the
actually
good.
There.
Don't try to help people.
Yeah.
In America, because that's what'll happen.
Let's talk about the Jaguar thing.
Oh yeah, Jaguar's new logo, because Apple for the past probably 10 years now has set the minimalist trend, and now Jaguar has decided to do it as well, and they're getting absolutely cooked because it looks super tacky and it's a really fugly logo.
I'm not talking about the logo. I'm talking about the commercial.
Yeah, if you've seen it, he hasn't seen it. He hasn't seen it.
Well,
you haven't seen it?
Cameron, just look up any circus commercial.
It's a fucking freak show.
It's a freak show.
It's
And I don't
kinda
mean
like,
that to say like, oh, it's just people who are not like straight white dudes. It's literally people who like look like fucking coloring books, and
It's just they're all wearing
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
really freakish outfits and stupid haircuts and just it's like overly. It's like if you took like a Maybelline Sephora commercial and then crossed it with
Yeah.
like Ripley's Believe It or Not. It's like that.
And their reason is they're trying to appeal to a higher earning demographic,
Yeah.
as in gay dudes with dual male income.
Worked out great for Bud Light. so
No,
why
worked out
not?
great for Bud Light.
It's a Bud Light 2.0.
And you know what's ridiculous? It's a European car company, and Europeans are going crazy over it. The CEO though, he like comes out in, like it's like could be a South Park episode so easily. He comes out with the fishnet.
wait,
yeah,
I didn't hear that.
No, he comes with a fishnet shirt
Okay,
on, and
what
he's
the
like
fuck?
talking. He's like, "This is the new Jaguar."
Why are they trying to just gay up Jaguar? Jaguar's
Okay, guys, our stocks are gonna go through the roof and they're
And
gone.
they're gone.
Jaguar's supposed to be like a high end fancy British
Bougie, fancy,
yeah
fucking
British
sick.
like James Bond type shit.
Yeah.
Like cool stuff. And
Jamie
now-
Bond.
Jamie Bond now. It's like Jamie Bond. But now they ruined it. Like Jaguars are like some of my favorite cars, and now I think they're no longer on my dream car list, to say the least.
Well, it's very important, their brand and their image.
It's ruining the image.
and
it's gonna be
it's
like
weird.
Jaguar. People think a certain thing. After that commercial and this whole new movement of just bizarre.
Miss after miss.
It's gone.
After miss.
I mean, it's so easy to just not
What's
fucking do that to your brand.
The goal is just to plummet. We want to fuck up
Let's-
Jaguar, guys. Let's. How do we do it?
Well, it could actually be intentional to plummet stock prices and then come in and buy a company.
Buy them all. And
Yeah.
get rid of the weird shit.
But I mean, Bud Light.
They are coming out with a new car, though. I mean, it's probably going to be ugly because I saw they have a very close-up photo on the website. It's something square and freaky.
Oh, I
looking.
hate that.
Kinda-
Have you seen it? The Lambo has a Lamborghini Lamborghini Countach came out last year.
Yeah, no, they have.
There's
that.
only
They
50 of
remade
them
it.
made, yeah.
It's a super
like $1 million bucks.
explosive one.
I love
Explosive,
Lamborghinis.
exclusive.
I fucking love.
It's
Lamborghinis.
cool. I wish that they made it like a actual production car.
It's good, but it's like.
It's sick. It's like the perfect Lamborghini.
No, but
It's got the doors.
I don't like the whole like resembling the old car thing. I'm not into the old ones.
Well, it doesn't resemble it. It's a modern Lambo.
No, but it's a Countach. It still
I think
has
it's beautiful. I love it.
The old, like the front, the headlights. They're like very.
Oh, that's sick. I love that.
They're like reminiscent of like the 80s.
Are they like the little like circular ones that like?
Yeah, they pop up. They're not.
No, they don't pop up.
Oh,
Porsche has some cars
They're
like
just-
that too.
I love
They're
those.
like very
Everyone really likes those.
angular. Or no, they're very
But I don't.
rectangular.
I don't really love those. I can appreciate
Porsche
when on
has
an
what?
older car, but if I was like buying a Lamborghini, I wanted to like have the
No modern
new
car
angular
has.
ones.
No modern car has the pop-up.
If I'm buying a Lamborghini, the headlights have to look like this.
Yeah, they gotta be like
Asian.
Like an
It's gotta be an Asian car. European build, Asian eyes,
Mhm.
Asian headlights. That's how I like my cars. Foreign.
Yeah, like your car, just be like your women.
We should totally have
Foreign.
like a cancel counter,
Foreign.
and every time we say
Yellow.
something,
Offensive.
it just fucking
Yeah,
let's
we'll
just
have to
get a
add that.
tally going.
It's the
Like an
fourth
edit
thing
that
I've
pops
said
up on the
this time.
screen.
Yeah,
Like
we're gonna have
cancel.
we're gonna have a tally counter.
Have you introduced the puppet?
Everything
No.
wild. Yeah. Who's our special guest today?
Oh, Bojangle, my puppet.
How'd you meet Bojangle?
Bought him on Amazon. Best
You're
$200
not
bucks I
supposed
ever
to.
spent.
I thought that was you couldn't do that anymore. Buying people who.
You can do that. You can do it on Amazon. I think it's just cool to have.
I mean, he
And-
shoves his hand up its ass and it makes him talk.
Does Bojangle have anything to say?
Bojangle doesn't have anything to say right now, but maybe he'll chime in later.
So Lilo and Stitch is coming out now. That's something interesting.
What,
They're
look,
doing
live action.
They're doing a live action Lilo and Stitch. It was really well received. All the trailers.
Are they making the people look like actual
Yeah,
Hawaiians
yeah.
at least?
Hawaiians, native Hawaiians.
What the fuck's a Hawaiian?
Hawaiians, how you're supposed to refer to them.
Hawaiian? They're
Oh.
not German.
Hawaiian.
Hawaiian?
But no, have you ever heard them say? They don't say Hawaiian. They're like, we're native Hawaiian.
Right. So before Quinn just fucking completely
Sorry.
derailed my topic with some bullshit.
But no, I was gonna answer. I was gonna answer his question.
No,
At
what-
first, literally, the like native Hawaiian people got mad at Disney
No, but
because
that-
they didn't pick like fat, ugly native Hawaiians. They picked like attractive native
Oh,
Hawaiians.
God forbid they look
They were
good.
like, how dare you? This does not represent most of our people.
Yeah,
We
most
do
of-
not look this good. We don't look like
Look,
this.
there's nothing. Everyone knows that the people you put on TV are gonna look usually better than the general population.
I know.
And that's widely accepted.
And they
That's
are
like,
native Hawaiian people,
Yeah.
but they got mad because they were not like the majority of native Hawaiian people.
That's like on the models. We can't just put the good-looking people. We gotta have the fugly ones too.
Isn't everybody like up in arms because Miss Universe was an attractive woman?
That's the point.
Yeah, everyone was like really upset about it because the lady who won Miss Universe this year is like
Hot.
considered good looking.
I didn't hear anything about this.
Well, I
Fill me in.
don't follow any of that.
Well,
but, like,
basically,
well, what did
I
they-
just saw. I didn't follow it close enough, but I just know that I was seeing a lot of people talking about how happy they were that this year's winner of Miss Universe was a good-looking girl.
I mean, what were they gonna pick? Like some
Well,
mismatched.
apparently that's what they've been doing.
thing?
Well, no, they
So-
did. They picked an alien creature.
we should have like screens and photos of like stuff we're talking about because
I don't even know what we're talking about either, but yeah, we can get our guy to do that. They picked an alien creature as Miss Universe.
But back to Lilo and Stitch.
That was a joke.
Back to Lilo and Stitch. Do you remember what happened with Sonic when the first trailer for the Sonic movie
They
came
botched
out?
the edit.
Yeah.
Made him ugly.
And it was
He was, like, a
so
weird
he
looking
was
creature.
so fucking ugly that the internet was in outrage, and it got so many dislikes that the studio actually delayed the movie for like a year.
They did that with Lilo and with Stitch.
No,
No, they stuck to the cartoon look because they tried to personify Sonic so much, and everyone hated it. So it sounds like they've learned their lesson and they're making it.
But he's gotta look real.
It looks real. It looks
good,
it
good,
looks
good.
as good as a Stitch that's standing right in front of you could ever look.
It's like, I mean, Stitch is he's a furry alien, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
But they like
You
the
basically
anatomy and
a
all that
blue-
stuff.
It's like a blue puppy.
It looks good.
thing.
It looks good.
It looks exactly. They got it right though, is my point, because they've started to try and make them look more like comparable to a human, and everybody hated that. So nobody's doing that anymore.
I mean, the Sonic. I saw the original Sonic. He was kind of freaky.
He was disgusting.
Yeah.
If I saw that thing, I would shoot it.
Hold on, you remember?
They have a
I
shadow.
have on the board over there the Russian public schools. Do you remember Yasha, our professor?
Yasha
The
was
Russian.
awesome.
Do you hear the story about the Russian well, we went to Hunter College, and every class there was like women's. So it went like it was. How did it go? It went.
Women's literature.
Women's
and
literature.
Then Russian women's literature.
Russian women's literature. Disabled Russian.
blind women's literature.
Russian's literature. Disabled blind women's literature. Disabled, impaired, and mentally challenged women's literature. And like going to an NYC school at the height of wokeness was like the worst experience of my life. But we had a Russian class. It was Russian's literature, Russian women in literature, some shit like that. And
it's just such an like off the wall, like specifically so specific it'll never matter.
For all the crazy shit that I say and joke about, I actually vote more in the interest of.
I could say whatever I want. I voted for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden.
Yeah,
just to clear the air about that.
Yeah, I mean exactly. That's
kind of my
that's
go-to
where that's where I vote.
Yeah.
But my God, in New York City, does it get shoved down your throat? Which I like to joke about stuff, so I don't really care about that. You know?
I don't really care. It's also part of why I vote for them is so I can say out of pocket shit and get away with it.
It's kind of like a disclaimer.
Listen, at the end of the day, I have your back, but just know
I'm gonna make fun of you behind your back.
I'm gonna vote in your interest, but I'll make fun of you. Yeah, it's true.
I'm going to make sure that people can't actually do the things that I joke about doing, okay? That's what I do.
But we were sitting in the Russian class, and they were like, what's one thing that all American movies, and it's all Eastern European kids, Ukrainian, Russian, Belarus people, whatever they are, and they're all in there like, what's one thing, and the professor's Russian, he's like, what's one thing that that all American movies and pop culture show as the villains? And I raised my hand, I was like, Russian people. They were like, what?
I've never seen a class all turn and just go. They were pissed
they didn't
off.
Know.
They did not know.
I thought
they were like, "What are you talking about?" It's true. It's an absolute fact that throughout movies, Russia's typically always a bad guy. Cobra Kai, the Russian dojo, is the one who got banned for doping and starts a riot in the last season.
They were Russian?
Yeah, they were Russian.
Dracula,
Transylvania, but same shit.
Transylvania,
Call of Duty,
Dracula, Call of Duty,
Rocky,
Finding Nemo.
Dracula,
that boat driver, that was a Russian. They were illegally fishing.
There's Rocky. Who else? But like from the 80s.
But if you talk to them about it, they have
they're
no idea.
They're so unself-aware.
They don't know.
They don't get the whole world. At least America's making fun of them.
I used that to actually get an A in the class though, because I wrote an in-depth
poor
paper.
Yasha. It's crazy to think half their families
awesome.
and them are probably dead by now.
Yeah. I wrote an in-depth paper about how terrible it is that America, turned Chernobyl into just an entertainment scheme and how much money they made off it with movies, video games, shows, all of which I consume. But, I still wrote a paper about how terrible it was. I got an A. It was good.
Yeah, people like it.
Yeah. Yasha was dope, though. He was a cool teacher.
Wait, but what was the question they said when he was like, "Oh, what's all movies?"
I don't remember the answer.
He outright disagreed. He said, "Well, that's not really true."
Yeah, they said that's
not.
It was
like,
really
"Have you
true.
ever seen a movie ever?"
You ever see a movie
Do they know
in America? It's true. Like you can't even debate that. Literally, we hate.
Yeah. Well, what's it? Red Dawn. Another one.
Red Dawn.
Wait,
No, that was North Korea.
No, it was North Korea and Russia.
Russia was
Wasn't
probably
Russia too?
the OG
Both
one
Korea.
was Russia.
I'm thinking the OG one.
OG's
OG
Russia.
one is both Russia and Korea. North Korea.
Okay, so Russia. Yeah, Russia's involved.
You guys ever
The
notice
one with
though?
like
Listen,
what's not Drake? Josh. That one is Koreans.
You guys ever notice that in the new Top Gun movie, you never know
who
what
it is.
country? They're just fifth generation fighters. But who are we fighting? Fifth generation fight. There's never a country.
Well, they all sound American.
no,
the
American.
enemy,
The
the
enemy.
fifth
Oh.
generation
no,
fighters.
it's almost certainly Eastern European or something like that, or like Iran because they're out in the.
I thought it was
no,
Iran.
yeah.
It's gotta be like some Middle Eastern people.
It's the Norwegians.
The Norwegians.
The Netherlands.
The giant-
Apparently, though, that the jet that was based in the movie was Russian, and then when it actually came out, it was not nearly as powerful, or it didn't work. So
Yeah, it would have been funny. Top Gun, the Russian jet just falls out of the sky.
it was supposed to be more advanced than any U.S. technology, and then when we actually got intel on the fifth generation fighter, it was like
The fourth
nothing.
generation.
It was like nothing
People
special.
are all scared of Russia now. I'm like, yo, they can't beat a third world country. What are they going to do to America?
They took-
They're getting their ass kicked by a bunch of.
Ukraine's still in it, so
Yeah, they're still in it. We're not scared of them. That's gonna bite me in the ass. We just get nuked.
when it's like 9 o'clock on a Saturday and it's suddenly daytime again.
Wait, what?
You get
Like you get
fucking
hit with a
nuked.
Oh.
Oppenheimer depicted the nukes in a really not interesting way.
I heard that movie was
It
really,
did.
really boring.
We
It
talked
was
about it in the
just-
last one, yeah.
We talked about it a little bit. It was literally just so that entire movie would go from shots of Cillian Murphy on a blackboard, little atomic particles spinning around, and then him sitting naked in a chair for a good 10 minutes.
Sounds like special ed class. No, that should have got a better laugh.
It does not sound. How do you know what special ed class is like?
I mean, are there
Just from what I've seen.
Are there naked kids in special ed class?
Sometimes they take their clothes off.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That happens. Red Roof Inn. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we stayed at
Red
one
Roof
for about
Inn.
10 minutes.
Red Roof Inn.
I booked it.
When Harrison booked the Red Roof Inn.
Yeah,
Harrison's a cheap
Harrison.
ass
So he's
and,
really, really good at
fucking shit up.
just fucking up
Really?
plans by
No.
spending the least amount of
Really
money
good
possible.
at efficiently.
Not efficiently, because it cost us
That was
more
not
money.
efficient
It
because
cost us a headache
doubled
too.
the price.
Yeah. Listen, if you're going-
it wasn't double the price.
No. We had it. You were out of pocket
No.
the money in the hotel, and then we had a fight to get the money back. We went up the road,
Yeah.
booked a hotel
Okay,
for
for
a dollar
more.
more,
Yeah, that
and it was like a nice room.
But they gave us a deal because like they felt bad for
No,
us.
no.
We
You know
we
you're
came last
you're
minute.
at a bad hotel when there's a sign on the door that says if you've been human trafficked, call this number. And outside of the door, there's a bunch of homeless people sleeping.
There was
Yeah.
like an unidentified femur bone in the parking lot. Do you remember that?
Yep, yeah.
There was some
They were
femur from
literally
a fucking
the
thing.
wizards were coming out of the woods into the parking lot.
Some guy.
Yeah,
ran
there was
out of a
people
bush.
sitting there smoking whatever they were smoking right on the balcony, like 2 doors down, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
And I said,
I
I'm not staying here. I said, I don't care. I will like literally go out of pocket. I'll call up
Yeah,
our
out of
parents
my
to pay for
pocket,
me.
I'll
Like we're
pay
not.
for it.
Our parents, I'm not getting murdered in a hotel room because you're cheap. It's just not gonna happen.
Who would you rather has your $200? The people who fucking robbed you, or the hotel that you got a nice room at?
Well, it turned
Mhm.
out they both got it because I paid.
Yeah.
$400.
Nah, would you rather someone come in and rob your money from your pocket? That was a
Yeah,
no-go.
so, Red Roof
I
Inn,
did shower
4.5
there.
stars out of
That was
5.
Don't even bother going to Red Roof Inn. The one we went to was in Johnson City.
That was a
New York.
shithole.
It
By
was a real,
Binghamton.
it was a real shithole.
But so is all of Binghamton. So
Yeah, it was a real shithole.
Upstate cities are just like
Trash.
trash. I mean, upstate's
more
beautiful,
like-
the nature, but like the
there's
actual.
nothing there. It's more like
It's like a boomtown in the 20s and the 40s, and now it's nothing.
It's kind of more
Which
so.
just for colleges. That's the only reason
No, I think of
upstate
it like it's a
exists.
place. Yeah, no one will ever go unless
And
they're
like
in college.
prisons.
It's freezing
And
cold.
It's also like somewhere where you'd expect like a murder to happen or like.
It's just like
'cause no
miserable.
one's there.
It's miserable.
Why's your wallpaper yourself?
Um,
5-year-old.
He
Remind
gets,
myself how
made,
cute I
he gets
was.
made fun of because he posts
My
the
wallpaper,
same
my
fucking
wallpaper's
picture.
myself as a baby. Well, I look seductive as hell now. I was a pure seduction master at the age of 6. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but if I go up, it'll blur, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, no, but our
Mine can
commencement
blur, it's
speaker,
just red.
our commencement speaker at college, like my parents spent money for me to go to college. I put in the time, I put in the years. Harrison's commencement
It's
speaker
crazy because
was like,
we just did a whole episode about how we didn't do
yeah,
any of that shit.
no, we did.
And now we're sitting here, we
Yeah,
put in the work.
No,
Harrison's
I-
commencement. Who was your
I didn't
commencement
get
speaker?
one. I graduated during COVID.
One of his commencement speakers was like a politician. I don't
Oh,
want to
well,
say.
that's high
I don't
school.
want to say who it was because people will get mad if I call them accomplished because but they were an accomplished politician. Whatever you think about politics, right? But our commencement speaker was Emily Radikowski, the Instagram model. Who
College dropout.
She was a college dropout, and her
Was she like
speech.
a normal model, like before she was.
Yeah, she's a model, but her entire speech
iCarly
was.
superstar.
Her whole speech was how she dropped out of college because it wasn't for her, and I was like, well, why the fuck are you speaking at my commencement speech? 4 years to listen to you talk. She said nothing of intelligence.
There was
Everyone in the room was stupider for having listened to her.
There was actually several viral clips of our commencement ceremony because it was so fucking bad. So this woman goes up and basically summarizes how she was able to drop out of college because she made so much money without it.
But yeah, I
to
guess
a bunch
you
of
guys
college graduates, and then she said, "Congrats, though, guys."
Congrats,
Congrats.
though.
And then they said, "Roll the names." And you'd think that you would go up and they'd say your name and you do your proud walk, shake hands, and get your diploma. No, they had a PowerPoint with probably 2,000 students' names flying past at an unreasonable speed. Honestly, we're going to edit in a clip of it because we can find it on the internet. That's all that happened. They said, now we will play the names of the graduates at times 6 speed.
Don't go to school in New York City.
Trash. It was a horrible
Trash.
ceremony. And then the only people who they did highlight were people who just had all these terrible things happen to them to the point where I was kind of wishing someone would come in there with a gun.
Yeah, they had the entire ceremony. They had like all these special kids on stage, and I was like, well, what's going on there? Because I wasn't on stage, and it turns out they started to go into each of their stories. One was like, I was beat up in high school a bunch, and that made me want to go to college. I was raped in Penn Station. I'm a transgender. Swear to God, they highlighted each of these stories, and I just wanted to fucking kill myself at the end of the presentation. I felt so depressed.
There was one that really stood out to me, and it was this guy who was an arts major, and then after he got jumped 6 times, he decided to switch to criminal justice. And I was like,
to understand why he got beat up.
You think he'd like switch the way he goes home, but he decided to switch majors.
How do you get jumped 6 times?
I don't know, like, bro, maybe you're doing something wrong.
Go take like boxing or like
Are you
get a
taking
taser.
You're taking the wrong way. You're taking the wrong way home, the rough neighborhood route. Like,
somebody
find a
said
different way
something
home.
really funny. The top review for pepper spray on Amazon is, if the can runs out, can I refill it? And the top answer was, if you need to refill your pepper spray, move neighborhoods.
Nah, but they really went up on stage, and then this kid felt so comfortable saying, after I got my ass kicked 6 times, I changed my
in
major
5 weeks.
to understand why I was getting my ass kicked.
Did
you could have just
kid look like a kid who would get his ass kicked?
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
Greedy kid.
100%. Yeah.
Go a different way home.
You could have just signed up for martial arts, gone a different way home.
He was an art major, and then he switched to criminal
Maybe stay
justice.
Take online school.
Take online school.
Yeah, be remote.
Yeah, so it was the worst commencement ceremony ever. There was no feel-good anything about it. It was just
miserable.
jab after jab, just basically putting down everybody who wasn't on stage and didn't drop out of college and get super rich.
They brought one person up there like, this person's an illegal immigrant.
Yeah, there was that too. They were like,
swear to God,
they were like, she doesn't even go here.
She doesn't even go to this country, but she's graduated here.
My graduation, totally different. I went to Long Island, a private school, absolutely no diversity at
And we
all.
pulled this homeless man off the street just to make you all feel like shit. And here's an Instagram model who dropped out of college but makes more money than all of you ever will. Have a good life. Fuck you.
It was bad. It was, as far as commencement ceremonies go, it was really bad.
I just left thinking, and my parents, the whole time we're at school, I'm like, you guys don't understand. Listen, I'm a pretty open-minded.
They said, you have to go to this. We paid money, and you guys did a big thing here, and you need to go there and get recognition. And then on the way out, they're like, you were right, that was a waste of time. You received no recognition. We shouldn't have even gone.
I'm like, how do you feel about the last, that's how I feel about the last 4 years.
Yeah.
We kept telling them, we kept saying, this is a waste of our time. We learn nothing here. I go into film class, and I watch a movie made 100 years ago, and then we talk about the color of the sky and why the director picked it. And I bullshit the teacher on the juxtaposition of the fucking director. And
I could go back and fix the education system because I identified so many problems and loopholes going to it. Nobody will ever tell you that you're wrong, especially in
arts.
New York City Arts Film School,
yeah,
because I
bullshit.
sat there. I slept through so many of these movies, and I just raised my hand and just said, I really think it's about what the character is feeling, and I talked about their emotion and their trauma, or where their head is at, or just their struggle, or just anything, any nonsense that I could come up with. And the professor said, yes, who can build off of that?
I just slept through every single movie, and they said, Quinn, why are your eyes closed? I said, I think it's more important to take it in through my ears and listen. That way I can understand where they're coming from. Hearing is the most important
like a science like school like Stony Brook
actually matters.
They'll tell you when you're wrong.
Because there are right and wrong answers there.
They're like
kind of school in an artsy-fartsy place. there are no wrong answers.
No, exactly. I negotiate. Well, I've known that since English in high school. I used to say there's no wrong answers in English.
Yeah, especially in English. In high school.
That's why I was good at these topics. Because I could bullshit.
English in high school.
You can interpret any kind of work of writing or art in any way possible.
That's not true. That's actually not true. There are definitely wrong answers in English.
No, there should be.
I went into a pop quiz once, and I didn't read the chapter of the book. It was for the Kite Runner. And so the question was, who is Farzana? I don't know. I didn't read the chapter. So I wrote, Farzana is a character in the Kite Runner. And that was the wrong answer. And she made a point of bringing it up in front of the whole class. So no, there's wrong answers in English.
I used to just make things up that were the most like general descriptions of a character to put on tests in English class. And
I tried. I went too general. It didn't work.
Yeah.
I felt like a genius one time. We went into class and there was another quiz which I didn't fucking study for. And it was on romance. And I've never had to guess on an entire quiz in my life. But it was 10 questions and I didn't know any answers. And I went in and everybody was getting the grades back. The kid in front of me got a 60. Quinn, I think, got like a 40. And I got it back and I got 100. And I was freaking out. I was like, I've circled in random things.
Oh my god. That's like
the likelihood of getting 100 is like...
that is like...
You got 100 on it?
I got
100. One time in my life, there was a time where I went in, circled random shit, and did decent. Every other time I failed. I was that kid during this...
You say you failed every...
Yes, I did. I was that kid during every test would just sit and stare at the paper until the time was up with nothing on it. Teacher would come over and be like, do you have special accommodations, sweetheart? Are you in the right room?
On a standardized test once. It was the ACT. and I realized that I was fucked on the first 15 minutes, and they walked over 15 minutes in, you haven't even put your name down. Are you special needs?
You know you get points for putting your name.
Yeah. No. Acting
I think
special
that's-
needs.
Those are one of the points I got.
Acting special needs get you further in life than you would think. You could go do it at school. You could do it at
If you just
at
act,
bars.
I have seen people
Oh
just
my God,
act
bars.
genuinely clueless,
I don't.
and they have gotten out of the craziest stuff.
Hello.
We had a friend in a college class once.
You're screaming loud.
We had a friend in a college class once, and it was a Zoom class, right? And he just started doing this in the middle of class in the Zoom call, and the professor got really mad at him and started yelling. And so he just decided to play it off like he didn't know what went on.
He didn't even yell at him. He came in at the
Oh,
end.
that was- I
He
know.
goes, Donovan, please stay an extra minute. And then he goes to our friend, and he goes, I saw you doing sexual things with your hands. Were you doing sexual? He's like,
Donovan said, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Oh, okay, never mind. Hey, have you seen Star Trek?
No.
That's
You
really
did
cool.
not properly emphasize the amount of cluelessness he had. The professor realized he was the one bringing up a sexual
Yeah.
conversation with the
But
students,
it's
Too
also,
bad.
and he
what about-
backtracked
was
so
this Suffolk?
hard. Yeah, at Suffolk, Donovan basically just started doing this to the camera.
But it's also.
And then he's like, I need to speak to you after class. Were you making sexual gestures and innuendos?
No, he
I
didn't
was
say.
like,
He said,
what do you mean?
sexual things to the camera?
He's like, what do you mean? No. What?
Just
What are you
shows
talking about? And he's
playing
like,
stupid can get you places.
it was
That wasn't playing stupid. That was just causing a problem.
No, I mean,
that kid
pretending
got away
to
with
not-
everything though. He was great at it.
Pretending to not have a clue what you're doing.
He could get it. He did that all. It was funny. It was very funny. Yeah. So college classes.
I mean, you could basically. I think you will learn more valuable skills by just finding a way to finesse your way through things.
We had a
rather
whole
than-
pod about
We
it.
rather
talked
than
about that
what
last
you
time
did.
in
Oh.
Clueless. Yeah, that's how she did it. She just
Yeah.
finessed her way through. Like
negotiating and it kind of just try getting to where you want to be without necessarily having requirements. If it is more valuable a life skill than just studying and answering questions.
I passed my college math class, and I only scored 3 of the required 24 points throughout the entire semester. I scored
yeah, and no
3
one
points.
that would never fly in normal circumstances.
They always say that shit won't fly.
But it
that shit
does.
won't, but it has flown me
Yeah.
years.
We got
You
way.
think in
years.
8th grade, they're like, that's not gonna fly in 9th grade. 9th grade,
It's
that's
flown
gonna
every
fly
year.
in 10th grade.
It's flown every year,
And it's gonna fly you all the way to success.
It's flown every year, and I still live with my parents at 25. And it's now I have a podcast, so I'm doing pretty good. To my 3rd grade math teacher who said it wouldn't fly when I cheat on tests. Doing
Yeah,
pretty
who's
fucking
retarded
good now.
There was another.
What is a podcast now?
Somebody else made a funny joke about that, and they were like, my 3rd grade teacher who failed me on that test just came into my bank asking for a loan. Best believe I denied that shit. Who's laughing now? Miss Schrader? I don't know what the fuck that is. but you could-
So
Yeah, I don't-
Trump's
I
coming
don't know.
out.
I'm not informed.
Trump's coming out with all these tariffs that he's going to do to, for some reason he's going after Canada and Mexico, who honestly, the only people we need tariffs against are China, because that's the issue with our outsourcing.
All our shit's made there.
Yeah, but we have car
Isn't
factories.
Russia
in
just banned
Mexico.
entirely at this point?
Pretty much, not really though.
Not
But-
really, because they just changed the branding. It's all the same
Yeah,
shit.
but the Mexican president comes out though and says, okay, you have issues with what you're gonna put tariffs on us. Well, you guys need us just as much as we need you. We're gonna put tariffs on your products. No more cocaine for America. And all your illegal guns that come into Mexico, guess what? We're gonna stop them from coming into Mexico. Great, that's what we wanted. That was kind of the point of everything. Like, thank you, you've accomplished the goal. We don't need tariffs now.
I think they're missing.
No more migrants for you.
No more migrants. No more farm workers.
Family Guy had a hysterical joke about that, where it's one single fence. It's supposed to be the wall, right, on the border, and it's just one fence post. And it's an illegal trying to cross over, and Border Security's like, nope, you can't go that way. Nope, you can't go that way. He tries to go over it. Nope, can't go there. So then the Mexican guy says, do you need help building the fence? All right, come over.
All right, come over. Yeah, but you know.
Most people who are very pro deportation and all that
Rely on
also rely heavily on.
His whole workforce is made up of illegal immigrants, and he's big on having
feel
them
like
deported.
one of the
Probably
lowest
not something.
Probably the
Probably
Wow,
not,
the
something I should
footprint.
put. All right, probably not something I should put on the internet. Maybe we'll do away with that.
Maybe. You guys will know by the time
Like probably
you
the
watch
view
video.
people have in that is like, oh, they're coming anyway. We might as well use them.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
just if you're
It's
hiring him,
hypocritical,
it's hypocritical.
It's hypocritical. That's where it's at. Like,
So let's talk about prom.
prom was really, really
These
interesting.
are very.
It was a
interesting prom.
fun ass time. we had a much better prom than most people actually,
Yeah.
but
I had a great time, not because my prom was anything spectacular, but just because it was such an
everything
interesting
leading up to and
yeah.
after it was the
It
best.
was such an interesting time in my life. I mean, we both went out with the prom with these two girls who were in our class, my twin brother and I, and I guess somewhere along the lines they thought we were weirdos, so they went out and got boyfriends.
They didn't think, they knew.
They knew.
No, but
they
I
knew
had
we were freaks.
I had a friend in one of their classes who overheard a conversation, and she came back and told me about it, and I was like, oh. You
Wait, what was the
motherfuckers.
conversation? They said, "Oh, we're
Just
bringing our boyfriends."
talking shit about us.
They said, yeah, they're weird.
So I decided, fuck you. So I didn't pay for a ticket.
Yeah, well, no, because I found out
That was the
like
girl.
a week before that they were bringing their first off. I don't know if it's the biggest flex of my life or something I should be embarrassed of that both of our prom dates brought boyfriends to prom. It was really
That
weird.
weren't you.
That
I
weren't
mean,
me.
but
yeah.
then you could flip it and say you took someone else's girlfriend.
I know, or I could say
No. You didn't get a girlfriend with my date. I took your girlfriend to prom.
That's
Yeah.
what I was getting at.
It
Yeah.
was mad weird. And then the whole time, first off, one of these girls, she was like 17 or 18, and her boyfriend was like 24. So he's a fucking weirdo. He still has our lawn chair to this day.
Yeah.
Beach chair. I think his name is Tom.
Big man Tom.
Big man Tom.
Big
but
man
he
Tom.
was like dead set on sticking his finger down your throat at the
Yeah.
after prom.
What?
Yeah.
He
dead
for
set
some
on it.
reason he's like, oh, if you're like too drunk and you need to throw up, like,
I can finger
you
your
know,
mouth
I can
for
like
you.
I can
I
pull a
do
trick.
that.
And I was like, get the fuck away from me,
They're
dude.
like, why don't you come out here?
Wait,
Take a
to you
second.
guys?
To Cameron, he was like,
To
dead
me?
set.
What the fuck?
He's like,
I was just having a great time, right, vibing, and then this grown-ass man, he's the same age I was now. This is like me going to Newfield and saying, hey, little boy, let me put my finger down your mouth. I'd end up on a list, okay? You can't do that.
That's like, oh my god. That's like probably a little fantasy. He's like, oh, it's perfect time. You know, you need someone to finger that mouth of yours. I got
Yeah,
you.
it was fucking
Like,
bizarre.
if you really
but
need it,
anyways,
I can go the other end too.
so we hung out with that group, and then we left the next day and hung out with our other friend group. It was a really fun time with them. They were
Great time.
Those people are awesome. To this day, I still run into them, and like that
That
friend
was the
group.
one with the group chat called
Crack House.
House,
My
yeah.
Crack House friend group, some of the best memories of my
I
life.
actually saw him the other night.
Those people are a lot of fucking fun. We went to their prom house because it's like a thing. You rent an Airbnb after prom, and then you just go like party at a house by yourselves. Well, yeah, there was that happening too at some point, but you basically just get a house and you all go hang out there. So we went to that friend group's house, and we just had a really good time and hung out and just were like drinking and partying and like just listening to music and stuff.
But essentially, our prom dates had boyfriends that weren't us.
So we went to
So-
a different prom place afterwards. So it worked out. Good time.
Yeah, I went to junior prom twice.
I didn't go to my junior prom.
Junior prom, I
I
didn't
go
go
to senior prom.
Senior prom
Did
was
you go to
fun.
senior prom?
No.
Yeah, I mean, prom's fun. You should go, but I don't like.
I don't remember why I
I'm
didn't
pretty
go.
happy
I'm glad
where
I
I am.
did.
Like, there's people who.
But the girl I went with, I was like, she had no personality. She was so fucking boring.
Oh yeah. Well, my prom date sat on the table texting her boyfriend. I was like, that's fine. Like, I had fun. It wasn't. I just
We
didn't have crazy
actually hung
expectations
out
for
with
it,
other
and it turned out to be a
people.
blast. And I remember sitting in the back of the car. First off, I was supposed to take my car to prom, but then they insisted like this fuck ass 40-year-old man take his car.
Was it a nice
Oh, was
car?
this the after
No, it was
prom?
a truck. Yeah, the after prom. So instead of taking my car,
We
we
were
got
kidnapped by the
we were
finger
kidnapped
man.
by the finger man. We were in the back of his car. I'm like, one day this is gonna make a great story. One day maybe I'll like write a script about it or something.
I was just thinking, imagine doing like at our age, taking some high school girls to prom.
Yeah, it'd be
So
weird as shit.
Fucking twisted.
We gotta have someone on
Yeah.
who does that. Oh, Butterball Turkey. Do you guys know about this? So the turkey company Butterball just got canceled right before Thanksgiving because there's videos of turkeys being sexually abused.
What?
I told this to my family Thanksgiving dinner. They thought I was like joking. I'm not. There's a video of like some workers humping a turkey. Okay, I could see myself doing that. Do you know what I'm saying?
They're kidding.
They're joking around, like they're fucking around. They
It's
say
just like Brandon with his dog.
exactly, or it's like me with a hamster. No, it's like I made a joke and started to hump a turkey. They're like, oh my god, watch it just be Purdue. Purdue's
Purdue?
leaking. Yeah, the other chicken
Oh
company.
yeah, they're just trying to like
Bring them
knock
down.
down their competition.
Honestly, I don't give a fuck. You're gonna kill the turkey.
Yeah,
I don't care if it has some
care.
fun before it's dead.
I-
Before it's killed.
I don't care what happens to it before it's. I don't like turkey anyway.
You're
But
gonna
let's
eat
say
it.
hypothetically
Yeah, I like it anyways.
someone fucked with their cow before making it into a cheeseburger. I'm still eating it.
All right, bro. That just gives it more flavor.
You're gonna tenderize the meat.
Tenderize the meat, and more basting.
Oh
More
my
flavorful.
God, more based.
More flavorful. I don't care.
It's got
The
that special
Sazul.
secret sauce.
Yeah.
Me myself, I have to know.
Here's my thing about that. So would
Jeffrey
you?
Epstein, Saddam Hussein.
Oh, Barack Obama.
No, I was gonna say Michael Jackson. Like make it like a battle royale.
Now, if I had to bring any 3 people to an island, well, here's the thing. What year is it? Because if it's anything before 1860, then I could get half an NBA team and we could really make things happen.
What?
3 people?
3. You know who counts as 3/5 of a person?
Oh.
So I get a lot more people.
I
I got
get
a lot more
that.
bang for my buck. And if not, then it's modern day. Then I could do little people count as a full people? Because I do a handful of them if not. You know what I
What
mean?
am I going to do with a bunch of
I do
midgets?
Peter Dinklage.
Peter
Peter
Okay,
Dinklage.
you should get a
And
town
that's
for
only like a quarter.
Yeah,
of
that's
your,
just like a
your-
quarter of my
No,
supply.
he's like, he's a quarter.
I do Kevin Hart,
Kevin Hart is like 3/5.
and then I throw in
4/5.
who Mini-Me, both Mini-Me's from the
from the fucking
Mr.
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers
Powers.
movies.
Yeah.
A handful of them, and I do
Yeah,
crazy
like that.
shit.
I'd do Christopher Columbus. I would do Bear Grylls,
Who's Bear Grylls?
Just survivalist.
and then I would do Tony Vlancho from Survivor.
I would do.
That dude is fucking sick.
Oh yeah, the guy who just bullshits. But no, he'd
Yeah.
fuck you over. He'd fuck you over. He fucked over everybody. I would honestly do the Olsen twins, and
They count as 2.
yes, they count as 2, but as kids, and then I just have entertainment
As
Oh.
kids?
Think about it. No, because then I'd have
I thought
entertainment
about
for
it.
20
It's
years
weird.
to come.
What kind of entertainment are you looking for?
World class actors. Have you seen Full House? And then when one of them, because according to union rules, kid actors can only work 8 hours a day. So I'd have one the first shift of the day performing for me all the time. Then as that 8 hours come up, I'd switch it with the other twin, and it's like there's no change at all. And I'd have them do performances all day.
This is just sounding like it's going in the wrong
Right?
place.
No, it's for entertainment, and I'd have like a
That
theater
makes
set
it
up.
sound worse.
Not in that weird way, but it'd be like a show, and I'd have one Olsen twin
I
going
don't
for 8
think there's
hours.
a not
As
weird
soon as
way
the
to
rules,
do
as soon as
that.
the union rules come up and she can't work, I'd off to the side. Other one come up, perform Full House
I'd have
for 8 hours straight.
I'd have Josh Gates. I'd have
Who's Josh Gates?
the Explorer guy. He's
I don't know
on,
who he is.
He's
Who's
National
Josh
Geographic.
Gates?
You don't know who Josh Gates is?
No.
No, you don't
My
know
dad
Bear
watched-
Grylls is, and you know who Josh Gates is.
I don't know Instagram people.
Bear Grylls is
well, he's
Who the
been
fuck is
around
that?
for
dude.
years.
You've definitely seen him, Harrison.
I've
He's,
probably
or
seen-
Coyote Peterson.
Okay, that guy.
Oh,
yeah,
Bear
Coyote
Grylls
Peterson.
is the guy who eats everything, or what?
No,
He's the guy who
that's a
stings
different
himself with scorpions and things.
guy. No, different guy,
that's
but I know
Cody
who that is.
Peterson.
No, I wouldn't. He'd be fucking useless.
You don't
He'd find the most poisonous thing on the
He'd kill
island.
himself,
I'm
right?
going to let it touch me now.
No, but Josh Gates, he's the guy. He's Destination Expedition Unknown or something. It's a show our dad watches all the time.
I've never.
If you watch-
It sounds like just
It's
the
a
same thing as
normal-
Bear Grylls.
Well, hold on.
TV,
Hear
not
me out.
Instagram,
Do you get to
TV.
restock people? Because then I
No.
would just have
No.
like a bunch of people who are suicidal contribute what they can give to
It's
the
just
island.
getting stupid. What would they? How would they benefit you?
People who have skills that end up.
So
I don't
you
know,
could
there's-
build a civilization on an island.
Yeah.
How about kill one, everyone, fuck one on an island?
Well, I don't,
Who's on the island?
Josh Gates, Betty White, and
Betty White. Poor Betty White. Rip.
Not really. I don't feel bad for
No,
Betty.
she
White at
honestly
all.
had a beautiful life.
She
was
lived for
great.
100 years, and
She
she had
was
a
hilarious.
pretty. What I can tell. I mean, who knows what her life's actually like, but a really good life. Lived for 100 years. I think that's a job well done. I wasn't even sad when Betty White died. You know, she lived a very fulfilling life. I don't get sad when old people die because it's like, if you live to anything past 75, I think, and you did a good job, I think you know.
She died at like 90 something.
99, yeah, like you know,
99,
that's
yeah.
it. That's all you can really ask for.
Well, one more year would have been more of an accomplishment.
Yeah.
100.
Is where when someone like Tupac dies, it's sad because he had his whole life in front of him.
Or like, you guys know who P&B Rock is, right?
Yeah.
He got shot in a Waffle House.
It's crazy
Yeah.
to me. These
He
rappers.
posted his,
the
or no, his
location.
girlfriend or whatever.
Idiot.
Somebody posted his location and he got
Oh,
rolled
wow.
up on,
She must be really
shot
feeling guilty
to
about
oblivion, and then
that. All the talented ones.
all these rappers die of drug overdoses or gun violence. Stop killing. You're rich. You're successful.
Because you take them out of the hood.
Get
you
out of the
can't
hood,
take
dog.
The hood out of them.
Get out of the hood. Stop hanging around. Stop. Include. They
Like,
will
you
leave
know,
these
Young
entourages of
Thug's
people.
gonna get out soon. Maybe, well, not
Who?
soon. Young Thug.
Oh, I have a song with him in it. Why is it every,
I think 5
every
years
rapper
served.
out there has
He got
been or
40
isn't,
years.
You know, but
But-
what do you do?
40 years reduced to he did some treacherous bullshit, probably with drugs, and no, it was a RICO charge.
What is that?
So it's organized crime. It's gang affiliation.
What's the point when you're rich and making music?
Yeah, I mean it's crazy, right?
So stupid.
Well, they
Fetty
honestly,
Wap
you know what the
too.
truth is? They probably just don't understand how to
That's
like
their-
set up and organize a legitimate. Because what's the difference between all these organizations that, first off, so many companies in America have been founded off of corrupt practices and what you would call crime, and they just do it in an organized
just
way.
launder the money to something
Yeah.
legit.
But when rappers do it, they probably maybe don't have the white collar crime knowledge to
No,
do
they
it
don't
properly,
have-
and they get caught. I don't
I
know.
guess where they come from, they're used to just, this is the way things are done. Whether I made music or not, I'm still going to sell
I
crack.
think so.
You
Yeah, like why are
know-
you selling drugs?
You know
yeah,
who
you don't need
recently I saw them speaking
Fetty Wap
and
did that
they
one.
sound
That's
super
stupid,
not stupid.
Yeah.
Lil Pump was like, yeah, I was on so many drugs back then and I was doing stupid stuff. And you compare that to the shots of the clips of 2019.
Wait, Lil Pump or Lil?
Lil Pump.
'Cause Lil Xan, dude,
Wait,
Lil
is
Xan's
Lil
also
he's another one who sounds
is
like
Lil
a human
Pump
being.
the
now.
guy?
now he
who-
sounds like a human
Is
being.
Lil Pump? Let me think. Is he the guy who
Lil
has the
Xan's-
red hair,
Yeah,
the red dreadlocks, and he's
Yeah,
kind of like
there used to
racially
be-
like ambiguous? I don't know what he is. Like,
yeah. And there's like the clips of him just doing his Eshketa, and he's just
That guy,
shooting
yeah.
random guns off into the air.
He's in the song
Yeah, they sound
"Welcome
like
to the Party."
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what's sad about that
His,
is-
his verse is so good.
When people are like that,
I
like
listen to that all the time.
like a lot of these people who die of drug
Deadpool
overdoses.
has like great Deadpool, especially the
Really
new one's up
good
for
music.
an Academy Award for the best soundtrack. They got
Wolverine?
Madonna on board.
Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine. They were gonna call it. Ryan Reynolds talked about this on an interview. People got really upset about this. It got leaked. The original title was Deadpool and Friend.
That's funny.
That's funny. I think that would have been funny.
It was funny, but people got triggered because
Well, I
like,
didn't see
it had
Deadpool.
to be Wolverine.
Do you think it went too far into the fuck around, like joking, like
I
music?
just think
'Cause I know
Deadpool
no, it was
very,
they did it
very
tastefully.
well
I
done.
kind of miss the days of like
serious,
the more
super-
serious.
because I know
Marvel films.
Thor, with that movie
Like
that
the
Thor was
original
trash.
Thor. No, I like the
no,
original.
the one Taika Waititi did that he got
Oh,
a
I
lot
didn't
of
see
heat
that.
Love
for.
and Thunder was
Listen,
trash, and
I
that
never
kills me
saw
to say
that.
it because Marvel's what got me into.
You know what I think it is? Here's the thing. I think his movies are, when he writes and directs his own movies, they're hysterical. Jojo Rabbit's an excellent movie. It should have won the Oscar. But when he did the Thor, I guess he went and he took his like sense of humor and put it in it. It did become too.
It's too much of a
It
joke.
became too much of a joke that I think it.
stand-up comedy. Kind of
No, just
thing. I
like
never saw it.
it became too much of a joke and it became too. Goofy.
Every 2 seconds, there was not a serious beat in the
Yeah.
movie. Every chance they got was just a gag or a funny noise
Yeah.
or just something that was goofy and not really funny. And it just took away, it just devalued the movie.
But I love
Is
that guy's
on
movies.
Is that on any streaming service? Because I do want to watch.
I think so. Yeah.
It bothered me his response to it though,
Yeah.
because I do like Taika Waititi.
Yeah, then he went.
I like a lot of his work, but then like when you have a project that misses, his
Oh,
answer was to say,
I don't care.
I didn't even care. I only did it for a paycheck. Meanwhile, he was riding the glory train when his last one was so well received.
That's just.
So it's like a cop out in my opinion.
He always says he's
So you
always
could
like.
say, I went
disclaimer,
too-
like it only sucked because I didn't care.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not cool. Well, people always
Exactly.
say this guy always comes out and says, "Oh, I don't care about I can't be asked to put in too much work when it comes to acting, and I don't care that much." It seems like you do care, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's cool to care because you
don't
have.
care
You
at
have
all. Why are you in this
listen,
business?
no, you don't
What are you
have
doing?
like 5 Oscar nominations and an Oscar because you don't care. You obviously care. Just own up to it. Like you don't need to be
You
coy
can
about
own,
it.
you
Like,
can own
put
the
in work.
failure. Not everybody
Yeah.
hits everything.
Yeah, no, it's not expected. That was a flop, and there's.
But I miss the days of like normal Marvel movies, like the Iron Man original.
Well, the truth is, Marvel's kind of reached the
Deadpool's
end of its
been
well.
making
Yeah, 'cause
fun
they're-
of that a lot. Deadpool made fun of that a lot. Like every single time Deadpool's talking to Wolverine, he's like, "You're joining the MCU at a bit of a low point right now."